falcons are more petite than an eagle, so they can resemble an eagle. They're larger than your average birds flying around down here on the trees, but they're not as big as an eagle or a hawk or a vulture. There's a tree down here. But we wondered if the falcon was trying to create a nest, either on one of the buildings or in Collins Park. Because when I looked up these birds, they say they could be found in cities, and sometimes they hang out if they want to build a nest. Anyway, trees are not only aesthetically pleasing for us, but birds do rely on trees. So when people tear down the trees are harmless, right? You know, like actual trees. So if one falls down, you know, on purpose, like if someone all out attacks, you know, they're here to actually help with the ecological development or sustainability in a city where, you know, concrete can reign supreme. So we'll go this way, where it can seem like it reigns supreme. There's a whole, you know, natural movement or population of people in cities to maintain as much of a balance as possible, so that it doesn't go beyond what they say, like human scale. I learned the term human scale after talking to somebody who was a city planner in Gainesville, Florida. And in Gainesville, they don't want too many buildings that go above 5 floors. Once you go beyond 5 floors high, preferably 3 and lower, I guess, but then you're wrecking what they call human scale, or it's detrimental to the human scale of a town or city. Gainesville, of course, is more of a town, has the University of Florida, which, you know, pumps up the population, but it's town-like. It's not really a big city, you know what I mean? So the argument in Gainesville is to keep it at a human scale, for whatever that is worth and means. So it's windy up here, so I can feel my jaw getting cold here. I want to do a test run today before any snow might come in tomorrow. See how cold I get, and just on a regular. So I can usually I have a large fleece pullover, and I can usually layer it up with like hoodie, t-shirt, another shell of a jacket. So there's a whole bunch of things, right, that I can put on. I don't actually have a winter jacket, believe it or not. I have snow pants and a fleece, and I just layer up from there. The snow pants are awesome because they were not expensive. I found them online through one of those, like an odd sort of website. It's like Action Sports or something like that. So anyway, they have like a thin gray liner of fleece, and I can't believe how awesome they are. I did get socks yesterday on sale, 50% off, $8 for 2 pairs of Columbia, again, fleece line socks. They're really men's, but they are fine. Just bunch them up, and yeah, there's the Basilica of Saints Peter and Paul, and the cathedral lofts behind it, the silver building. That's, you know, condos or apartments. I guess they're apartments. City Hall all the way down there, the skinny looking building at this point. The terrace on 18th off to the right, the roundish building. It used to be Embassy Suites, so I think it's funny that if you only heard the name, you would think it would sound like terrorist on 18th. But anyway, lots of crosses here. Each cross represents surgical abortion since 1973. They had to pick 73 for some reason. It keeps coming up. That's amore. So this is, I don't know how often they use an E in amore. Should we go straight? So feminine versus non-feminine usages or whatever, but naturally I would want to put an E. That's amore, but that's amore. But that's an old saying, like, you cross, you know, the Italians, we're gonna whoop you, you know, that kind of thing. That's very old school, that type of thought. But it still goes on. The mentality is deeply embedded in people's brains to be heavily insulted should you not approve of them incessantly, you know. They should come over to I'm never like approved, or I'm rejected all the time. It's like, you know, I just sort of had to learn how to live on my own by myself. I'm lucky to have someone to go out to coffee with me, you know. Even after all the academics, you know, some people think it's academic in nature, but even on college campuses or universities, people still have a network of people, and they do things together. They have play dates and stuff, and they have kids. Like, they'll find a partner or husband, whatever, have kids, have play dates, everything's, you know, scheduled or whatever. And so, you know, academic people are social, but it's true when academic folks are studying, you know, there's a lot of alone time unless you study together. They have different methods for studying and remembering everything, but it is true that there's not a lot of partying for successful academic folks, I guess. And I don't know, it runs the gamut. Like, I've been amazed, like, you know, it's been many years since I've been in school. I was there 88 to 92. Then again in 2013 to 15, but that was to get an MFA, and it was like night school, if you will. They had classes at night. And I just went up twice a week to New York. And and I was surprised to see, like, some people perform better on substances, and I would never promote substances because at some point they hit a wall. Where snow emergency route. Anyway, you know, and people, you know, acing exams like the day after they get sloshed, you know, for someone's 21st birthday at the Stone Balloon. By the way, the Stone Balloon was originally purchased or created or invested in and built by Jill Biden and her first husband. Are we going this way? Or I forget which way we're going. Should we cross the street? We can cross the street. It's busy here this morning. It's kind of, I guess, like between 7 and 8. It's like closer to 8 by this point in time. Sunday, the day before, it's Alexis and Little Green Honda. So the relatives, it's funny. That little car could be in the same group as my mom and aunt. They both had little cars. My aunt had a navy blue little, she had a Saturn. My mom had a Ford Escort LS. They were both very small and low to the ground, so that when you tried to look for them in parking lots, like if you would forget. And I forgot on occasion. I actually shopped for Shipt to make money during the pandemic, and it was actually, that was pretty successful for me. I was really oddly grateful for the, you know, the work. But it's like, oh my God, where did I park that car again? Because everybody has bigger cars these days. Like, even your